finally ready to get started. Just kind of had a few things to check and make sure things were working all right and all of that jazz. I just got a new laptop, but really an old laptop. My brother put my hard drive into his old laptop, so yeah, so that's what's kind of made this a little bit of a false start and a false start and a false start. And anyway, so today let's talk about summer, because it is summer, but it's early in the summer. We've had about a few weeks already, and my question for you guys is, what are you doing with your summer? How are you using it? Because time is just like money. You spend it, you use it, you put it towards something. So far with my summer, I have volunteered as a lighting technician for a youth camp for a week for a church, and for a vacation Bible school program for a week for a church. I also went to JFAX, the anime convention in Grand Rapids, and did a chapel service there yesterday. No, 2 days ago, because today is Tuesday. But so I'm trying to use my summer well. I've got some writing to do, working on a second book, and some other things to figure out. But what are you doing with your summer? You know, a lot of shows and movies start out with a character who has huge potential, just enormous amounts of potential and opportunities, but they're not always using it very well. And something happens, or some sort of a conflict that comes into the character's life that pulls them into a serious situation where they have to start being purposeful. Didn't think about this. Anyway, they have to start being purposeful, and so they do it. They take their level of potential, and they have to raise it and meet it. And that's a major part of a lot of character story arcs, whether it's fantasy, science fiction, and you know, in the first Jurassic World movie, that was part of it. He was watching over the raptors. He was doing something purposeful, but there was more that he could be doing, and he was put into a situation where the park was kind of going crazy, where he had to decide, okay, I'm going to do something with this. And you know, Chris Pratt's recent speech at the MTV Movie Awards was a great example of taking an opportunity and using it purposely. He put a few jokes in there and was a little bit goofy, but he also shared some important messages. So I just wanted to take a minute and think about, what am I doing with my summer? So here is a little bit of what I have going on. Here it is. Here's a little bit of what I have going on this summer. So Nerd Chapel has a lot of things going on, don't we? Kogan Con is a brand new anime convention right in Grand Haven. So for those of you in Fruitport and Muskegon and Coopersville, it's not far at all. And Nerd Chapel is going to be hanging out in the board game area. We're going to bring a bunch of our games, just hang out, play board games. We'll have a few scheduled games, but we'll also just be there with a bunch of games just to play and hang out randomly. We're also going to be doing another thing there at Chapel, so stop on by. If you're at Kogan Con, say hi to me. If you're cosplaying, come over and let me see. Tell me about your character if I don't know about the character already. Just come hang out with us. Then I've got Lansing for Get Geeked Entertainment Expo a week later, and True Believers Fest in August. All three of these, Kogan Con, Get Geeked, True Believers Fest, they're all first-time shows, not just for Nerd Chapel and for me, but they're first-time shows, period. These shows have never happened in the history of happening before. So these are all great opportunities, and if you're in the area for any of these shows, come find me. Come hang out. Grand Con is a gaming convention, so if for those of you into board games, if you have not been to Grand Con, it's right at DeVos Place. It's an excellent opportunity. Come and hang out with us. It's just a great convention. We do a chapel there every year. We normally have a table there as well, and great opportunity. You'll get to walk around, see some publishers, and check out games that are very new. They have a huge board games library. You can go look through try out a bunch of games. There's also scheduled events. There's RPG events. This year they have the founder of the 501st, which is one of the biggest, best organized cosplay groups in the world, hanging out. Not just one of it, is the biggest, best organized cosplay group in the world. And he was there last year, was a really cool guy, nice to meet. So yeah, Grand Con's a great opportunity. Fantasticon is all the way in Fort Wayne, so my Fort Wayne friends, come see me in September. But yeah, I'd love for you to come hang out at any of these shows. So yeah, how are you using your summer? Maybe there's an opportunity at your church. Maybe they need people for a food truck event or to help get some projects done. Maybe it's somewhere out in the community. You know, there's a lot of needs, especially for those of us living near Muskegon. There's a lot of soup kitchens and organizations there that could use some help. You know, we watch all these shows and read these fantasy books about characters going out and taking care of significant needs, but are we actually doing that in the real world? I think that's something you need to think about and something you need to plan on. So, have a good day, and we'll see you later.